What is this? I look like a puppy dog.
You are a puppy dog.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
puppy
I
dog,
have
puppy dog.
like you remember pound puppies?
Nope.
Why? Because you're 9?
I'm 30.
So you were born in 2000?
Yep, it's the year 2030.
Okay. Wait, that's not it.
Hey, you want to talk into your microphone?
Hey,
Hey.
that's not it.
See, now,
How's that?
It's really loud.
Because I'm really loud.
Nah, you're doing that.
Okay. I move a lot.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Why would you make that noise?
I'm sorry. Woo! Okay, I'm ready. I'm here.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
All right. I'm not going to count down this time. I'm just going to start. So shut up. What's up? And welcome to Forte Catholic. This is your host, Taylor Schroll. And I am here with the one, the only, Elizabeth Eugene Anselmi Harrison. Olivia, how are you today?
I'm fine. And it sounds like you said your name was Sailor, so call me Elizabeth.
Well, for the last few weeks on the show, I have been mispronouncing my name.
Your own name?
Yeah, and the name of the show, just because I've been doing the same thing for 176 of these things, and I'm getting bored, so I'm just like, hello, my name is Shayla Schmoll, and this is my friend Olivia Schlam, and welcome to Smorte Schmaffle. Because I'm tired, and this is what you get of me right now.
Oh, okay. So why don't you take like a sabbatical?
Because I'm in the wrong field for that.
What? Every field has sabbaticals.
That's not true.
I think that is true.
No, people in ministry never get a break.
I think those are the people that get the breaks. Sabbatical sounds like a ministry term. Ministerial?
Yeah, but okay.
Minstrel?
Sabbatical is...
What is that word?
Minstrel? Minstrel is a different thing. That's like a person who sings.
Oh, that's what that means?
Yep.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Sabbatical
Yeah.
is based off the word Sabbath,
Okay. See?
which people that work in ministry have to work on.
Yes.
So we don't get a break on our Sabbath or on sabbaticals.
Okay.
I have spoken. So you
Yeah.
and our good friend Allison Sullivan, who are the two people that record here in this studio.
Because girls are best.
Sure. Y'all have an extreme gift for... I have an entire intro to the show planned, and then y'all show up, and it just throws the whole thing off.
Because we talk before you want us to.
Something like that, and y'all always do something.
We move a lot.
No.
Okay. No.
Just things like right now, where you do things where I don't expect you.
You mean
to be doing them.
conversation?
No. Okay. So on the way here, I just like I pull this up way too often. I'm gonna pull up our text messages. I said sup homie, because that's how I text. And you said ETA 1:48, and you were supposed to be here at 2:00.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, you're early.
I was coming from Galveston. I was trying to make sure I wasn't late.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You did a very good job.
Very adulty.
I was in the middle of a video game, also very adulty. And I was like, okay, like when you get here, I'll probably be playing video games. Mm-hmm. He said, what time do you want me to come? I can grab coffee. I said, well, you're still welcome in my home. Like you don't have to arrive later. And then you said, I can grab coffee. And I said, I could use some coffee though, with a winky face.
Yes.
And you were like, what do you drink?
Yeah.
And I said, vanilla ice latte.
Is that what you always drink? Is that your go-to?
Absolutely.
Do you drink anything else?
No.
This is it.
So
I never have to ask you again?
No.
I can just bring you a vanilla ice latte.
Yeah, 90% of the time I'll be happy.
Well, what's the other 10%?
We can't talk about that. So, and then you said, what else can I bring? Do you need food or anything? And I said, no, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
And then you said, last question. Would you rather a Sonic drink instead of coffee?
Because I passed a sign for Sonic.
We've already been through this. We had already been through this conversation. I'm going to be late. I'm going to get coffee instead. Okay, we agreed on a new plan. And then we agreed to get coffee, and then that conversation is over. And then you're like, change of plans.
Because I passed a Sonic. Like, I was driving on the highway here. I have to take the highway. I actually drive to you out of the kindness of my heart. And I'm driving down the highway, and there's a sign for Sonic. I was like, oh, maybe because you chose an iced option, you would enjoy a Sonic drink. So I was being thoughtful. And you see it as...
So we went from,
okay,
would you like coffee? And I said, yes. And then I said, iced coffee.
Yeah.
And then you said... Ice is what he really wants.
Well, I did. I forgot
ridiculous.
Sonic was alive. I didn't remember.
Well, Sonic isn't alive. It's an entity that's a business.
I didn't know it was here. I forgot. It didn't. I wasn't
know
thinking.
It was here. This is getting worse.
Anyway, I saw the Sonic. I thought, he might prefer that. I will offer it. It was an offer. It was a question. It wasn't a, hey, I'm leaving the plan.
You left the plan.
Oh, my goodness. Well, tell the people what you got.
I got a vanilla iced latte.
So, see, the toddler got what he wanted.
Yeah, and the so-called adult can't make decisions in life.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you live like that?
You hate how I live.
How do you make decisions?
I don't.
And then not go through with them.
What? That is not a decision. It's a drink. I was like, it's a coffee drink or Sonic drink. I kind of was like, I don't know. Maybe the ice. It's good ice.
Yes. If you would have done everything that you said, but said, would you like coffee or Sonic at the beginning, then there's this tree of thoughts that we can have. We can go down that tree. You can't start the tree after the decision has been made.
Okay, but it was my thing to begin with. It wasn't like, hey, Liv, you've got to come. You got to bring coffee. I brought it up to begin with, and then I forgot that Sonic was an option. So I was just giving you all the options once I knew what they were. So you would have rather I pass a Sonic and say, he might have really loved a cherry limeade, but I will just go with the iced coffee. You're pulling up your text.
No, I would always want what I said I want.
Okay, got it.
Because I am
Noted.
a man of conviction.
Noted.
And when I make a decision,
he doesn't change.
I have to go forward with it.
Got it.
This is the thing about me. I think I've gotten more and more like this, and it can be a good quality.
Is this because you're 30 now?
It is, because I was born in the year 2000.
Stop.
So whenever I make a decision, I have to go through with it.
Really?
Yeah, and for better or for worse. So if it's a good decision, it's a good quality about me.
Okay.
But there are other things where things like this drive me crazy. And it seems to be the women in my life. So I'm just going to generalize because you do it, and Allison does it, and my wife does it. And there seems to be a thing where my wife will come into the room all the time. She's like, hey, what do you want to eat? Steak or chicken? And I'll be like, steak. And she'll be like, well, I just cooked chicken. I'm like, then why are you giving me the option after this is over?
So, but when new options present themselves, okay, let's say this. Let's say you get booked to do Steubenville every single conference ever, and then the Vatican calls you and is like, nope, we want you for World Youth Day. Well, that option didn't exist.
Nope.
Now it's a new option.
If I have already agreed to do something, I'm going to do that.
No, but what if you haven't signed anything?
I'm a man of my word.
Oh, for crying out loud. So, are you trying to bring up a man-woman kind of situation?
I wasn't trying to. I had a whole segment planned, and you threw it away.
This was me throwing it away because I, God forbid, asked you if you wanted Sonic instead of coffee.
After we had decided to the degree of what type of coffee I wanted.
I think this is just a little time that we need to say a prayer for Sam, your wife. I think that's fair.
I think we need to pray for your husband. He has to deal with this all the time.
Dear
Lord in heaven, we thank you so much for our spouses. We ask that you be with them in this trying time. And by this trying time, we mean
life.
All the time being married to us. We ask this all in the name of your son, Jesus, who was never married, so can't understand this. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
We were so close to not being heretical. And then you...
Welcome to Forte Catholic.
Yeah,
everybody.
there we go.
It's nice to be here.
Perfect.
With you. Can we do what I wanted to do now?
We always do what you want to do. So
that's not true at all.
Completely.
We are 8 minutes into the show, and I didn't want to do any of this, to be frank.
You're the one that started the conversation.
I didn't see it going this direction.
Great. Go. I'm ready.
Okay. So here's the deal. Mm-hmm. I have been trying to take care of myself better, and it's going okay.
Yeah, I met you almost a year ago. You're doing better.
When
I met you, you were a hot
mean
mess.
By that?
I mean, you were a hot mess.
How so?
How so?
Yes.
I think in every possible way you were.
What
I feel
does
like
that
you.
mean?
I was trying to give you a compliment. I think you've gotten.
Well, that didn't work.
What do you mean? I'm saying I think in a year you have really grown.
When I met you, you were a hot mess. That's a compliment.
I mean, compared to now, I'm saying that was my way of validating and saying, yes, you have been trying to take care of yourself better.
I think I'm worse now than I was a year ago.
No.
Yeah.
You do not.
I do.
Why?
Because.
Okay, go ahead. Explain that.
No, you're not getting out of explaining.
What do you mean? I think you're better. I think you're physically better. I think you're emotionally. Okay, you know what? I retract my statement.
That's what I thought. Okay. So
I'm changing my mind again.
I've been a hot mess since the year 2000, and I've been trying to take better care of myself in a plenitude of ways, both physically with working out and trying to eat better, and some other ways. But let's start with the physical.
Okay.
On the way here, or while you were on your way here, whenever you said, "Do you want food or anything?"
Right.
I went and asked my wife, "Wife, do we have food here?" And she said, "Yes, we have deli meat," which I can't stand eating sandwiches. I'm done.
You hate sandwiches?
Like the sandwiches that you make at home, I'm done with. I've had enough of them in my life. Like if I go out to a delicatessen and get like a roast beef, like French dip, absolutely. I've just eaten so many like
ham,
put turkey and cheese on bread with mayo. I'm just done. I'm just done. I'm just tired of it.
That's a weird thing to be done about, but okay, sure.
It's like brushing my teeth. I've done it enough, right? Like I can be done with this, right?
I'm done. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah,
so it's things over and over and over again.
That's funny.
So she was like, "Well, I can make a chicken salad," and I said, "Okay, I've been trying to eat better. I've been trying to take better care of myself. Here we are. I'm eating this chicken salad." And my wife is like, she's the one that like eats keto and she takes care of herself.
She's
she
so
works
cute.
out like this. She's lost so much weight.
She looks
Great.
amazing.
She's really excited about it.
She should be.
So she's been trying to get me to eat keto forever, and I can't do it because I'm not strong as a human person. So I finally said, okay, I'll eat the chicken salad, like a salad with chicken, not
chicken salad.
They're very different.
They're very different. You mean a salad with like grilled chicken on top?
Absolutely. So I eat that.
Okay.
And that is all I am planning on eating.
Until I say something horrible like,
no.
Oh,
like
good.
That's when I texted you, like, no, I don't need anything. My wife's got it taken care of.
Got it.
So then, thanks for drinking that coffee right into the microphone. I appreciate that. Speaking of taking care of yourself, I need to rid you out of my life. It's driving me crazy. So then, after I finished eating my salad, she said, "There's also macaroni and cheese."
I know it's on your stove.
It is on my stove.
I already ate out of it twice. I did, like we're in college.
So she's like, "You can have some of this." I'm like, "Well, I've already eaten healthy," but now the option's been presented to me.
Yeah, and it's sitting right
and
there, right now.
There. So I ate some.
You did?
And here I just want to walk you through this. I ate some.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got too much, so I went and put it back. I went and put most of it back. Okay?
I probably just ate what you put back.
Yep,
cool.
Okay. I'm very clean. And then after I make this good decision, she said, also, there's this new kind of bread that we've never had in our house before. And she's like, it's just like it is at
Outback.
Outback, or she said the Cheesecake Factory or something like that.
Yes,
and she's
either
like,
one.
Put butter on it. I'm like, okay. So I just went from eating, like I had the desire to eat healthy.
Right.
I told you no, because you would have gotten me something fantastic that I would love to eat, like
I would have.
from a fast food or some restaurant or something, right? Mm-hmm. I eat the chicken salad. I'm supposed to be done. Then I eat mac and cheese, and now I've eaten an entire like mini loaf of bread with a chop of butter on every single one. So this is me trying to be healthy. I'm trying, and that meal was no step in the right direction.
That didn't help at all.
No.
You know what I've been dreaming about since I walked in your kitchen? Taking one of those half loaves, cutting it open, putting a big slob of mac and cheese, and making a sandwich out of it, like Ali Sheedy.
See, that's a sandwich I would eat,
dude. Right? Doesn't that sound amazing?
It does sound amazing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to be really honest. Now you said butter, I'm like, done.
So now we get into like conundrums like this, okay?
Yeah,
So where I have been trying to eat a little better. It's been going okay. I have been working out more, not as consistently as I planned, but still more than I have been. So for the last 2 months, I got a membership over at the old Planet Fitness, and I've been going a few times, 2 to 3 times a week, right?
Okay.
But then I got sick at the end of last week, because last week 2 weeks ago was crazy. The week that I talked about on last week's show. This last week has been super restful.
Yeah,
like,
you said that.
Like, it's been good because, like, it was one of those things that, like, God kind of had to shut me down.
Yeah.
Like, he gave me a minor cold, not something that, like where I had to sit down. But, like, I usually go to bed at 1 o'clock every morning. Mm-hmm. And I've been going to bed at 9 or 10 every night for a week.
9?
And waking up at, like, somewhere between 7 and 8.
Oh, my gosh. You're like a real person.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Have you been so productive?
No, not at all. Like,
well, then sleep doesn't work. Do you feel better?
I feel extremely rested.
That's good.
I'm still battling this cold and getting over it, but I feel extremely rested, which is good because I'm about to hit all this time of travel for ministry and work and that sort of thing. But I want to talk about something that I'm very interested if I think your answer will be no and you. Are you ready for this question?
Oh, God. That's not loaded. Sure.
Do you know what a neti pot is?
Yes, of course.
Do you use one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I'm super surprised.
Why?
That you're not like, ew, gross.
Because he thinks I'm so bougie.
I do. And everyone listening on Catholic radio has no idea what that means, and we're just going to leave it there. It's not bad, but if you don't know by now...
You think I'm above a neti pot. That's what you think.
No, I thought you'd be grossed out by it.
I think they're amazing.
So,
Except I don't want to die from a brain amoeba.
That's not a real thing.
That is a thing. Yes.
A brain amoeba?
Yes, from the water. Some guy died from his neti pot. From the water. From the neti pot.
Do go
Look
on.
it up.
No, just keep telling the story.
That's true. It was like 2 years ago or whatever. Like the guy, because you have to use a certain type of water. You know, it's like going in lakes, and if you like do like a backflip into a lake, and then it shoves the brain amoeba up your brain, then you die. I don't want to do that.
I use tap water from my sink.
That's a no. That's a hard no.
What?
Read it. You don't read the instructions of the neti pot. You have to use like distilled.
No, you don't.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you do.
You're backing off of this very swiftly.
You have to do something.
I'm not using lake water.
I'm serious. A guy in Louisiana died from his neti pot. I just don't want that to happen. That's it.
Well, once again,
how mad would you be if you died?
I knew when
from your neti pot.
I'm not gonna die from my neti pot, and I'm not gonna ever get through this segment if
I'm pro neti pot. There, I answered your question.
Explain neti pot. You're like, people die. That's not the point of the neti pot. That's not the point of the neti pot.
It's a good conversation.
I think you just ruined my connection.
Go ahead.
I think you just ruined my connection. Okay.
Do it.
So the neti pot. Most people that I know are really grossed out by this thing. I heard about it from my primary care physician for years because I've always had bad allergies, and he was like, "You should try this," and I was like, "No, that's weird." I thought it was just like this weird thing that weird people do, like doctors, and I avoided it for years, and then finally I did it.
When? Recently?
This was years ago.
Okay.
This was like 8 years ago or so.
Oh,
I started
okay.
using it.
Okay, a
But
while.
I've had this
Half
cold.
your age.
I've had this cold, and using the neti pot. So for people that don't know, it's like you add salt to water, and you put the water through your nose, and it
drains it out. I love watching this stuff come out.
Exactly.
Don't you love it?
Okay.
It's like an addiction.
That's why I thought you'd be grossed out by this, but then I
love
forgot
it.
that we are the same person. I love watching the gunk come out of my nose.
Yes,
It's
because you
the
feel like
best.
you're doing something.
And
Don't you feel like you're doing
something? You can't breathe air, and then all of a sudden you can breathe air again, and all the gunk comes out.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I don't die, and that's the point. I have to clear that up before we move into this next thing. Because I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, neti pots could be similar to confession.
Oh.
People don't want to go to confession. It's gross. I don't want to deal with that. That's something
Ew.
that other people do. I don't need to do that.
Interesting.
And then you go to confession and you watch all the gunk come out.
Yeah.
And you come back out and you're like, I can breathe again. This is amazing.
Right. Look at you.
I know.
See, a year ago, would you have come up with that analogy?
Yes. I
Dang
think
it.
I did this show 3 years ago, but I'm just recycling content because no one listened to those first few episodes. But anyway, this has been
episode 12.
the first segment of Forte Catholic, not the first episode. Allison and I will be right back. We have a very special interview.
You rat.
I called you Allison.
Sean.
That's awesome.
He's the worst.
Sean. Okay.
Isn't that one of your other co-hosts?
Not anymore. You replaced him. We'll get out of here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for a very special interview. Isn't that one of your co-hosts? No, it's how you're here.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm here.
I'm sweating my butt off.
I know. I keep getting wet. Not. Okay. Recording all the time.
Yep.
Recording all the time.
We are recording.
All the time.
All the time.
Wait, who are all the co-hosts?
Huh?
Did you mean to call me Allison, or was that a mistake?
No, that's a mistake.
Whoa.
At least it wasn't doing something else.
You mean like sitting in mass?
No.
I know what you mean. Okay, who are your co-hosts? It's you, Allison, me.
Well, see, if you ever listen to the show.
Come on.
Oh, I don't travel ever, so I couldn't listen to podcasts. That's so hot.
Taylor.
Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you love me?
I do love you.
No, you don't.
If I had a show, would you listen?
Yes.
Did you read all the articles about me that I've been posting?
I don't read things.
Ah, see, there we go.
I listen to all Allison's
So
shows.
many
articles. I would listen to your show for sure. I listen to all of my friends' shows.
She had articles, would you read them?
No, I don't read. Even the crappy podcasts that are run by my Catholic friends, I listen to those to support them.
In your opinion, where does your podcast rank?
Like second for sure.
What's number one? You don't want to say?
The other one that I do. I'm just kidding.
You have another podcast?
No. Lena Ruli's the best.
So are you like? Are you
use
ready?
Any of this because I'm putting the fan into the microphone.
So are you like Lena Rulli of Texas?
I think Lena Rulli is Lena Rulli of Texas.
Okay, so if he came down and said, "Hey, I'm done doing this whole thing. Do you want to apply to be me?" Would you be like, "Yes"?
Yeah, I told him on his show that I was going to take over for him one day.
Who's your hero?
Enrique Iglesias is my hero.
Isn't he everyone's hero?
Would you dance if I asked you to dance? I can be a hero, baby.
I forgot about Enrique.
I can kiss away the pain. Higher.
I think he just had a baby.
I must stand by you.
He married that tennis player. Is she a tennis player? The blonde? I think at one point they were waiting till marriage. Or he was going to, but I don't think he actually did. Luke, I am your father. Wait, what's the actual line? Luke. I think the real line is not what everybody quotes.
It's no, I am your father.
No, I am your father?
Yeah.
I just lost all my hearing.
Because you're old.
Look at all my, you're the worst. All my bracelets.
Check 1, 2.
Why would you have to check? We've been talking in these things the whole time.
Because I unplugged something. You said I just lost all my hearing. I was checking to make sure it worked.
I almost put my hand in there.
Okay. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm sad it's not a Cheeto bag. I think I'm hungry today. Well, why would you have mac and cheese on your stove? Like, that's like I'm an alcoholic and I'm walking into a bar where they're like, everyone gets tequila today.
Sorry, we need to wipe it off.
Are you wiping? You're disgusting.
Okay. Are you ready to interview me? Did you prepare for this at all?
Of course not. Yes. Well, no, I didn't prepare, but yeah, I'm ready. Born ready. It is hot in here. It's me. I am really grateful you put on deodorant. That is all I can smell is your deodorant. It's very strong.
Just like me.
You're very strong?
Strong boy.
Oh, gross. It is hot. Wait, put the fan back on. Oh,
no, we can't. We're recording. Shut up. I'm trying to record.
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Beep. Oh, shit. Shh. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor's role. This is definitely Liv Harrison and not Allison. That is definitely a thing. I definitely messed that up at the end of the last segment, but you know.
Not on purpose.
She's not heard about it at all.
Yeah, right?
You always compare yourself to Allison.
I do not compare myself to Allison.
Every time you come over here, you compare yourself to Allison.
No.
You think that I like Allison more than you.
I do. No, I know you do. And that's okay. I like Allison more than me too. So
I want to share something with you that will rock your world. Last week, when Allison came to record, I didn't have deodorant on, and I realized that, and we kept recording because it was too late. But right before you and I started recording, I'm on my day off. I'm just resting, relaxing. I don't need deodorant when I'm just at the house.
Yeah.
So I went and put on deodorant.
Because you learned from last time.
No, because I like you more.
That, everyone, is a lie.
Okay, so you drive me crazy, and I scheduled this. Let's see, like
yesterday.
No, it was like Thursday or Friday.
You did not.
Where I said, "Hey, can you come record on Monday?" Because I didn't want to bother you while you were in New York for 8,000 days.
I was there a long time.
And right when you came back, I was like, "Hey, can we do this?" You said yes.
I reached out to you, by the way.
And then I asked you what time.
Yeah.
And you didn't answer me for 3 days.
Because I was in Galveston with my husband's family.
So I didn't have a chance, or I tried to book a guest because you gave me a good, 14 hours to book a guest. But there was this thing that you said on your last show.
Okay.
That you were like, I want to interview you. That is what you said to me.
I did.
So without further ado, we're going to get in. We're just going to cut live to one of my favorite interviews we've ever done. He's one of my favorite people. I think if he's not my favorite person we've ever interviewed, he's definitely in the top 5. A very special and successful young man. His name is Taylor Schroll, and you're going to be interviewing him today.
I'm excited.
Okay, well, here we go.
You're hilarious. That was your intro about yourself?
That is.
That was your intro about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that was kind of nice.
Well, thank you.
I actually got excited because I thought you were actually going to cut live into like something that you had done before.
We talked
that
about
wasn't
this.
About you, though.
No, this was something just for the audience.
But you're only in your top 5?
I prepared you for.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay,
that was
here
me
we go.
being falsely humble.
Okay, I got it.
All right. Well,
so
shoot.
Taylor, hi.
Well, we don't have to say hi.
I'm
We've been talking for the last 30 minutes.
Don't correct me. It's my show.
It's still my show.
Taylor. Hi, Taylor Schroll. This is Liv Harrison with Forte Catholic. I'd love to interview you right now because that's how you start off an interview.
No, that's not how you start off an interview. When have you ever heard an interview that started, hello, I would like to interview? You don't ask people on the interview you if you can interview them.
Anybody here know what sarcasm is? I know that, Taylor. It's just to upset you.
Well, you've done it.
Why? All right, so let me hear something actual real about you. How in the world did you first hear of Lino Rulli? Because if anyone has listened to this show more than 3 seconds, they know that he is your all-time hero in radio.
I think it would take more than 3 seconds to know that.
Oh my gosh, can you not be Spock for like serious?
What does that even mean?
That means stop being so literal. Have a conversation with me.
Have you never heard of sarcasm?
Nope. All right, here we go. Seriously, I want to know, when did you first hear of Lino Rulli? I've been wanting to know that for a while.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Lino Rulli is the Catholic guy on the Sirius XM's The Catholic Channel. Mm-hmm. He is my radio hero. He is who I was like, hey, that guy's doing good things and nobody else is. So I want to try to do something like that. To, like do Catholic radio and have it be fun and not have a terrible interviewee style. So I started listening to him when I was working in my hometown because I was the youth minister and the DRE listened to him. And she had a Sirius XM subscription, and she let me, quote unquote, borrow her login information. So I got to listen to him whenever I wanted, and I did. And I've listened for a few years. I listened to every word he said on every show for like 2 or 3 years. And
Are you serious?
Yeah. Now I just listen to the podcast, which is like the best of the week, which is in like an hour to 2 hours.
Oh, but you were listening to every single show?
Yeah.
What is his, when is his show?
I don't know, because I listened on demand, like in the Sirius XM app, but now I just listen on like the Apple Podcast.
This started for you 3 years ago?
No. I wish you would listen to the answer.
Okay.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. But the last 3 you've been doing on demand?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So what is it about him? Like, what inspired you? Okay, no, hold on. I want to wait for that question. I want to do a first question before that. When did you decide?
How long ago did we say that you were going to interview me? How long did you have to prepare for this?
Like 2 seconds. I want to know.
A month.
A month. I want to know when you were listening to him. That's what I want to do.
When I enjoyed listening to Catholic radio.
So right off the bat. So like in that 8 years ago.
Within 3 seconds.
Oh, now we're gonna use the 3 seconds. Okay, so you instantly heard this guy and you thought, I want to do what he's doing.
Yeah, because so I got a lot out of Catholic radio for a few years when I was in college.
Prior to that,
because it was like apologetic stuff. That's what most Catholic radio is apologetics-based things, answering questions, people asking questions and getting answers, and it's all like kind of head-based, theology-based, and that was really helpful for me at the time because I didn't know a lot of that stuff. And then I started realizing, I started learning a lot of it. And then I realized that like there's a time and a place for this. And there's a time and a place for like real life stuff. Like the amount of times where I'm defending my faith against a Protestant is slim to none. But like the times when I'm living out life as a practicing Catholic is all the time, or at least trying, right? And that's what he talked about. He talked about his life. He made stupid connections like neti pots are like confession, and like that's just kind of the kind of stuff that I enjoyed because it was more like this is fun, it's enjoyable to listen to, and I can get something out of it.
You found like a realness with it. He seemed tangible as a person.
Well, he wasn't tangible because he's on the radio and I was listening to him in my ears, but yeah, sure.
Okay, so when did you decide to start your own podcast?
Well,
I know the answer, but this is
76 episodes ago.
I got that. I know. How many years ago was that, though?
3.
So it was kind of when you... So you've been listening for about 5 years.
2016? I don't know what year this started.
But is this kind of formed after his show? Is it similar?
So
if I was a Lino listener, would I be like, wow, this is very similar?
Maybe. So essentially, like if you ask any artist, like any music
sure.
act, who are their influences,
yeah.
right? They kind of pull from multiple people. So like I pull from him, a lot of like late night talk shows, like late night comedy guys, stand up comedians,
like Fallon.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Catholic.
I grew. He's Catholic.
Okay. Well. Okay. Fine.
Craig Ferguson. I think he was the most underrated late show guy ever. He was phenomenal.
That's interesting.
Like I grew up watching SNL when it was good. Like a lot of that stuff is who I kind of like took things from, and then a lot of like Catholic speakers. Just kind of like learning things and kind of making it my own and finding my own voice was fun. But essentially I learned by watching really good people. So
right.
like whether it was those people or even like sportscasters like Colin Cowherd, I listen to his show all the time. Just learning from them and how they tell stories and how they make points and these sorts of things. So I would hope that I'm stealing from a bunch of good people and putting it all into one, because that's what art is.
So what made you think you could do it?
I think I'm amazing.
Do you?
I think I'm the best guest this show has ever had.
But what at the very beginning, what made you think like, you know what? Yes, I can do this. I can have my own show. I can be a host. I can have a podcast. Where did that confidence come from? Or did you not? Were you just like, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to try.
No.
Or did you know?
I think I'm God's gift to earth. I think
for crying out loud.
I'm confident in a very good way, and it can lead to some very prideful things. But I learned at a young age that if you do what you're good at, if you only do what you're good at, it looks like you're good at everything. And so I'm good at talking, I'm good at making people laugh, and I'm good at being humble. So I decided to put all the 3 of those things into one and call it a show.
That's fair. So, but how did you get on Red Sea Radio? How did that whole relationship start? Did it start off that way? Like, did you first start a podcast? Like, take me to the beginning. You're going to start a podcast. You're going to call it Forte Catholic. Like, how did this whole thing start? I want to hear the origin story. Pretend you're Marvel. Tell me your origin story. How did it get named? How did you end up on Red Sea Radio? What happened? Explain it to me.
Marvel wouldn't publish this story, that's for sure.
No, there's nothing sexy about it.
I was in a coffee shop with my Protestant best friend, and we were like, what should we call it? Taylor Schroll. Nobody knows how to spell that or say that, so we're not going to do that.
It's a lot of R's.
And we can't be narcissistic and
well, you are,
yourself.
But you just want to keep it hidden. That's your hidden
you have
power.
to hide it. Just like my son is a secret Catholic junior, because if I had named my kid Taylor Lee Schroll Jr., everybody would make fun of me.
Oh,
so he's Christopher Lee Schroll Jr. or Christopher Lee Schroll, because my confirmation saint was Christopher, so he's definitely my junior. Because I'm narcissistic, I just try to hide it a little bit. So it started in a coffee shop with my Protestant best friend, who was on the show a few weeks ago.
I like how you say my Protestant best friend. Can he just be your best friend?
No. It's the best qualifier about him.
Really?
No. So we were hanging out in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And I was like, Forte means loud, and I do music, and that's a music term too. And this is my forte. And at the beginning, I was like, and I want to help you find your forte. Now I don't care about other people. So it's just about me and having people listen to what I'm good at.
God, that is so true.
At the beginning, I was like, this is going to be great marketing. And then I'm like, yeah, well, I don't care.
I don't care about anyone else.
People are going to like me or they're not.
So how did you get on Red Sea? How come this isn't just like something that you do out of your home and it's like whatever?
Well, it is something that we are currently doing in my home.
Now it is. But somebody produces it.
I produce it.
Yeah, but distributes it.
Yeah, I distribute it.
Well, then you know what? I don't care about Red Sea Radio at all.
Well, so I started on Red Sea Radio. But have you heard the parable of the persistent widow?
Yes.
That's going to be you in a few years if you don't take care of your husband. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, so I just keep asking over and over and over again. I asked once a month, hey, can I have a show once a month? And then I got told no 11 months. And in the 12th month, they said, sure, why not? You can do a live show on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Because let me tell you how many people listen to Catholic radio at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. 0. So they gave me a test run for a year, and then they said, hey, we actually kind of like you. You can be at a time that people listen. So then they moved me. Now I'm not live. And then I just slowly moved to my house where now I'm recording.
In the hottest room ever.
Yeah, in the
Why do I
water
wear
closet.
long sleeves? It's
I
so
don't know.
hot. It's really crazy. Okay, so wait a second. That 11 months, were you producing any content?
No, not at all.
So you waited for them to say yes?
Yes.
So what was your plan if they didn't ever say yes? Would you have produced this show without them?
I would have found somebody who thought that I was half as amazing as I think I am.
If only you actually thought you were amazing. It is a good act.
I do.
It is a good act. You're kind of weird, Taylor, because you do think you're amazing, and yet you also loathe yourself.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense. What is that about?
People that actually know me
Yeah.
know how I talk about this. It's a pendulum swing. Every 18 seconds, I go from God's gift to earth to
Worst.
a schmuck. So I just go back and forth, and it's really healthy, and it's great for my spiritual life. It's great for my personal life. It's great for work. It's great
Your
for
marriage.
It's great for parenting. It's great for everything.
Friendships.
For sure.
Yeah.
One of those.
He doesn't. No, you do well as a friend. Okay, so who was your first big guest?
We just listed all the things that I do, and you're like, you're good at one of those.
I didn't. I'm not going to go to all of them. We're moving on. Who was your first big guest that you got?
Jimmy Aiken was.
That sounds like a superhero name, like Jimmy Aiken.
We'll get his origin story next week when I'm back in charge of the show.
Forte Catholic. Who's Jimmy Aiken? I've never heard of that guy.
Who are you?
I don't know half the people we usually talk to. And then we're talking to them, and I'm like, I have no idea who that guy was.
So you know how I feel like this a lot. Like when I'm with people, like when I go to like Catholic conferences or these sorts of things, people that I work with, Allison, like I feel like nobody knows the Catholic world.
Yeah.
So the whole Devil Wears Prada thing.
Okay.
You've seen the movie,
Sure,
right?
of course.
Where like the main actress's job was to like remember all the names
Yes.
and tell people who this was.
Yes.
So they could,
Secretary.
That's my job. Like that's what I do at work.
You're
I'm
a girl.
Like, hey, this is this person. This is what you need to know about them, and that's how business deals happen.
You'd be a great secretary.
Essentially,
You'd be a good
that's
personal
what I do.
assistant. Yeah, if you could
Essentially,
just
that's what I
do.
do. Is I'm like, hey, you should make this deal happen, and I kind of warm them up, and then I bring in my boss, and he makes the deal happen, and then I'm out.
You're that guy.
That's my job.
There's got to be a name for that.
It is the outreach marketing director at a place ministries.
Okay, so this guy, Jimmy Aiken, who is he?
He's one of the most famous Catholic people in Catholic radio.
As what? Oh, for radio?
Yep. It's a human being. His name is Jimmy. He's lost a lot of weight here recently. He's on Catholic Answers. So he's one of the people that I learned a lot
So
from. How'd you Catholic radio.
How'd you land that?
I asked.
What does that mean? Like, did you go to an email? Did you call someone? Like, somebody doesn't know how to do this. How did you do it, Taylor?
I'm not going to tell you because then you'll question me. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's like, that's one of the things that I've learned throughout this whole thing is that like,
just ask.
Just asking things. I've asked. I mean, 175 guests now? Because I didn't ask me. I mean, I guess technically I asked me.
No, I asked you.
But I've been told no by one person ever.
Just one?
Just one. And it's wild because I've
shocking.
I've had guests on the show that like probably shouldn't have been on the show.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not a big deal.
I gotta agree with that.
Exactly. And people come on and they have a lot of fun. It's like these are people that I've looked up to for many, many years, and then there's people like you. And
very nice.
It's been really cool to like look, if you want something, just go do it. I was listening to Conan O'Brien's podcast earlier, and him and I forget who he was talking to. Judd Apatow. They were talking about how like they kind of broke into the comedy business.
How they got into it.
And like there's all these comedians that nobody knows who they are, but they were big names whenever, Conan and Judd were kids. And they were just like doing a college radio show, and they just went and asked the biggest comedian to come on and do it, and they did it. And that's
how it kind of got started. Yeah. Okay, so just asking, and you just figure out how to ask.
I sent an email and be like, hey, you want to? Here's when I'm recording. You want to talk about whatever book or whatever you're doing? Sure.
That's amazing. Yeah. So who do you have left that is on your list? Who's the big give me 3 names. If right now you could book them next week.
St. Peter the Apostle.
Oh, for crying.
Joan of Arc.
Loud.
And Pope Benedict the 15th.
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Okay, so when did you know that you actually kind of, you know what? I think I kind of made it. Not made it. I mean, you're still in your closet in your house, but enough to where you're like, I.
You just said I'm in the closet. That's a thing we're just going to pass over.
Are we? When did you know, okay, this isn't just for fun. This is actually a thing.
Oh, this is just for fun, and I'm having a blast.
So this isn't a thing. You have stickers with your face on it. Like, there had to be decisions made. You got a logo made. Like, you've invested in this. So when did you decide, all right, this is beyond just me and my 4 friends that are listening? Like, when did you really decide and say, okay, this is a thing?
Well, see, there are these things called listeners, unlike you, that actually listen to the show.
I'm asking the question.
And they enjoy it. So I do it for them because I care about other people than myself.
So when did you make it, Taylor?
2032.
Okay, you're the worst.
Well.
So what would you change about this show? What do you wish?
My 4th co-host.
Allison Sullivan. She's the worst.
She was the first person to say yes.
Oh, see? Look at that. Wait, way back in the day?
It was her, and then...
Was she there for the Jimmy
Father
interview?
Anthony. No. I just started having co-hosts a year ago.
How am I supposed to know that?
Because people listen to the show, Liv.
All right, well, I'll start doing that, I guess.
Golly.
So you added co-host, but why?
Why don't you listen to my show?
Because I don't listen to anything. Why did you add co-host?
Because my previous producer / first co-host left me, and it was very hurtful. And I had to find new ways to talk to people because I didn't want to be boring sitting in a room by myself. And I was like, these people will be fun.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you always had a co-host to begin? From the very beginning?
No. Somebody was just listening to the first episode, and I'm like, oh, God, please don't do that. I debate going back and deleting them, but I leave them there.
It's history.
Because somebody was like, you've gotten so much better, and you said in the first segment that I look better than I do a year ago. That probably isn't true, but you know what is true? This show is way better than that first episode that I ever did. It was
years
just me.
ago?
Hello, everyone. Let's talk about Catholicism. I'm what's my name? I'm not sure.
So you've seen yourself grow, though.
Oh, absolutely. Growth. And you know, the next way that I'm going to grow
you're going to end it.
Is I'm never letting you run a segment ever again. I'm just kidding. This is a lot of fun.
Oh, because we were talking about you, which is your favorite subject.
I love talking about me. So even when I'm not running the show,
thank you, Taylor,
the
for answering my questions.
About me. We'll be right back. This is Taylor Schroll and Allison Sullivan. Don't go anywhere.
So pretty.
That one was on purpose.
Oh, obviously. Obvi.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, I'm sweating like a farm animal. Oh, for the love of God. Did you like the questions?
Yeah.
I had like 1,000 more in my head. 18 minutes goes fast.
It's not what she said.
Well, if you know what you're doing. You're disgusting. Look up the thing about the guy that died from his neti pot, by the way.
What was the word that you thought I said? That was hilarious.
Menstrual.
Menstrual. Your menstrual cycle.
You could. You probably have a uterus.
I saw where you were going with that, and I said,
no, I was not going with that. Taylor, oh my God, my ears are sweating. I didn't know ears could sweat.
Well, welcome to my world.
What else is sweating? Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm using natural deodorant.
That's why it's not working.
It is working. I don't smell. I smell like Joe Malone. That's my perfume.
That?
Smell my perfume. Smell it!
Don't say you smell like a man.
Her name is Joe. J-O. Smell it. Oh, you're the worst. You made me smell your armpit.
I know. I can't believe you did it.
Well, I had 3 brothers. You drink your thing really fast. If I were to get you something from Sonic, what would it be?
Nothing. I hate Sonic.
You hate Sonic drinks?
No.
The ice? What's wrong with you?
The ice.
The ice is amazing. I gotta fan out my ears.
Is that a sentence you've ever said before?
No. My ears are so sweaty. Is it these? Is this what's sweaty?
Yeah. Why do you think I'm good at this?
Well, now I understand. Oh, jeez. I hate... It's like hat hair, you know?
I wouldn't know what that is.
That was interesting to know about how you got started.
Everybody's heard it before. People who have listened to the show have heard it before.
No, if they listened at the beginning, when's the last time you talked about it?
We talk about it every now and then.
When?
A few months ago.
Whatever. I think it's adorable that you, like, prep. I also think it's adorable that you don't tell me.
Yeah, you don't need to know anything.
You don't need to know anything.
You wouldn't know anything if I told you. I told you we were going to do this. You were going to interview me a month ago. You didn't prepare for that.
Not really a month.
It was exactly a month ago.
All right, well, give me a second chance. I'll take it seriously.
Nope.
I didn't take it seriously.
Never take anything seriously. Oh, I'm part of one of the coolest Catholic podcasts in the world. Will I listen to it? Never! 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I want to thank our last guest. It's amazing, such a pleasure that he was able to be with us for such a great time. What did you think about it? It was a pretty good conversation, huh?
It was an incredibly hard, difficult interview.
Well, I wish you would stay in the camera because we're still doing the show for YouTube, and you've moved away from me.
No, it was a good interview.
Out.
Good interview.
Good.
He looks better in person than he does on camera, just thought I'd tell everybody.
That is for sure.
That is way for sure.
The camera adds 50 pounds. I'm 50 pounds overweight, everybody. Okay. Lent is coming up.
Ugh.
Last month you were like, hey, let's talk about Lent. And I was like, no, it's a month too early. Then you're like, well, let's talk about New Year's. I'm like, no, it's 3 weeks too late. Well, now Lent starts next week.
Let's talk about Mardi Gras.
Okay. Did I tell you about my Mardi Gras fiasco?
Please.
I got booked to speak at a Mardi Gras party to like kick off Lent.
Sure.
And I got booked like 6 months ago.
Okay.
I work at a school where I am the campus minister, and I'm responsible for setting up for all the masses and making sure everything for the mass goes well, okay? This event was on February 5th, so I assumed that it was on Ash Wednesday. So I prepped for mass for Ash Wednesday for February 5th, and then looked at my calendar and realized Ash Wednesday is on the 26th.
No, you did not.
Why did I speak at a Mardi Gras event on February 4 weeks before?
How did that go?
Oh, it was a great event. I was just very confused by it all. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
So next week is
actual
Tuesday. Wednesday and
Mardi
Fat
Gras.
Tuesday. We couldn't be on different pages. This is great.
Okay, perfect. Nailing it.
So this is the season of going out into the desert, and everybody and their mom has done a podcast about preparing for Lent.
So we should do one.
No. So we're going to connect it vaguely by talking about our desert fathers. Have you ever heard of the desert fathers?
Of course I haven't.
Okay. I am actually surprised by this. What do you think a desert father is?
Someone who
Talking to your microphone.
Please.
Don't clear your mouth
please
into the microphone.
I was trying to annoy you more.
It doesn't annoy me. It's bad radio.
I think a desert father is someone who spent time alone in the desert, like contemplative.
So you know who the desert fathers are?
Yes,
Faja.
I do know.
The Faja.
Faja.
So there's this book that I had the name of when I planned to do this segment 3 weeks ago, but we all know how planned segments for Taylor go.
Awesome.
So there are these sayings from the Desert Fathers.
Okay.
And what I want to do is go through them with you and get your thoughts. Because someone did this with me. This was one of the teachers at the school that I work at. He and I run our... we have a leadership team of high school students at the high school that help with their fellow high school students and events for the junior high. They're kind of like our spiritual leaders at the school because God knows I couldn't do it. So I asked them to help, and we do training and mentorship for them once a week. And me and the other teacher alternate leading this.
That's cool.
And his are way better than mine. Because I never use the content that I use for those here, but I will use his content. Okay.
His content's amazing.
A certain brother went to Abbot Moses in Seat. This is very important. It's just a place. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And asked him for a good word. And the elder said to him, "Go sit in your cell, and your cell will teach you everything."
Oh, jeez.
I was going to ask you how you feel, but I think we already know.
That makes me feel depressed.
Why?
I don't want to go to my cell.
Why not?
I wasn't made for the cell. I really wasn't. Like a little tiny room with like a bed and like a bedpan. I can't do that.
I think the judge might decide that you actually are meant for a cell. But that's a whole other thing.
No, that just sounds very... I'm an extrovert. Taylor, so are you. Doesn't that sound a little too introverty?
You don't think it's helpful every now and then to go to your cell and sit in silence?
Listen.
It doesn't have to be a cell. Okay, we all know that you're a fancy rich white woman.
Oh
so like you can go sit on your bed with 8,000 pillows.
You're the worst.
sit there and have some time for quiet contemplative prayer. Is this not a thing that you experience?
It's hard. I got to be honest. It's really a big struggle for me personally. It really is. Like
prayer?
Yeah, well, okay. Okay, like for instance, I hate going to sleep because I'm the only one there. Like when I close my eyes, it's just me there. Like that makes me sad. So going alone and being in my cell alone, I knew you were going to do that scrunchy face. I don't want to do it. That's hard for me, but you can talk about it. You're a better person than I am. Go ahead. How are you able to go to your cell and do that? What does that look like for you? You're also a fellow extrovert.
I don't do this. I never. I haven't
But do you
answered
think
yet.
you should?
You've been the only person.
Do you think
that's
you
answered.
should?
We have to go back to this I'm alone when I go to sleep thing. Do you not dream? Like you and I are very similar as people.
Yeah.
I have very vivid and creative dreams because I'm a creative person.
What am I?
Apparently nothing.
Oh.
I'm never alone when I sleep. That's
No.
because of my dreams.
No, ever since I got neurofeedback therapy with anxiety, I don't have dreams anymore. Very rarely. So no, it is lonely. So no, I don't want to. Tell me what you think about that. Go in your cell and your cell will tell you everything. That doesn't kind of hurt your heart? Like that's where I'm going to learn everything?
Half of me likes it, and the other half of me is like, eh. So half of me is like, I like the, okay, we've talked about like going and sitting in silence and like silent prayer. That part's good. The part that I don't like is that the reason most of the people went to go hang out with the Desert Fathers was this irony thing. They were super holy and out in the desert and by themselves, so people flocked to them to learn from them. And they're just like, this is just his way of saying, leave me alone. That's all this is. Because he wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
A certain brother, they don't even name him because he doesn't like him.
Okay.
And he goes up to him, he's like, I want to go up to holy people and be like, I do this all the time. Like people who I know are holy, it's like, what does it look like when you pray?
Sure.
Not how long do you pray? How often do you pray? Like what does
that look like?
Set of 5 minutes look like for you? That's a question that I find fascinating and has been very helpful for me. So if I go up to somebody and they're like, go sit by yourself and you'll learn everything you need to. It's like, I'm not a Jedi. Like that's not going to work for me. I need some help, buddy.
I agree.
Okay.
That was my initial reaction.
So we are 0 for 1 on agreeing with the Desert Fathers.
Oh, what does that say about us?
That we're currently at 0% good Catholics. Okay. An elder saw a certain one laughing and said to him, in the presence of the Lord of heaven and earth, we must answer for our whole lives. And you can laugh? ? Now,
why are you doing this to me?
Now, I want you don't listen to the show, but do you know the slogan of the show?
I listen to the shows that I'm on with you.
No, you don't. Do you? You definitely don't listen when I talk. Do you know the slogan of the show?
Forte Catholic.
That's the name.
Making Catholicism fun again.
Right. So this Desert Father foresaw this show, and this is the worst review this show has ever gotten. It says, why are you laughing? You know that you're going to have to answer to the Lord for all of our actions, and yet you find some way to laugh?
I'm going to hell then. I laugh all the time.
This is ridiculous.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
How can these Desert Fathers be people that we should look up to?
Is the Holy Spirit.
Joy is a fruit of the Holy Spirit.
That is all I'm made of. If you were to wring me out like a dishcloth, joy would come out.
You know what you are?
What?
We talked about me oscillating back and forth between thinking I'm the greatest thing God had ever did and the worst.
Yeah.
What you are is that Emotions movie.
I know.
You are Joy and the blue lady from The Office all the time, completely together.
The sad one?
Yeah. You are Sadness and Joy.
How am I Sadness?
50% back and forth.
I'm Sadness?
Yeah.
How?
Because you, like... Do you want to recount how you showed up to my house today? You're like, oh,
I was having a bad day, Taylor.
Day.
Oh my God.
And now you're like, hey, look at me, I'm Joy.
I said when I'm on, I'll be on. Did I not?
You just use joy to suppress your sadness, and we are the same that way.
Okay. Anyway, I'm pro laughter and anti-cell. Go ahead.
0-2 for the Desert Fathers.
You knew this was going to happen, didn't you? You knew this would be our score.
Yeah, exactly. It was said of Abbot Agatho, or Agatho, I don't care about getting his name right because I probably disagree with him too, that for 3 years he carried a stone in his mouth until he learned to be silent.
Death. I'm going to die. If that's true, if we're supposed to be silent, okay, can I ask a question for real?
Sure.
Okay. The Holy Spirit comes in lots of different ways, especially in the Old Testament. He's a roaring fire, he's a loud voice, then he's a whisper. So, like, what is that? Like, when he's a loud voice or he's a fire, That's what, less Holy Spirit
Wait.
than when he's a whisper. What?
You definitely missed the point of that story.
Okay, well, I was just trying to make
because
my point
God
work.
said,
Trying to make my point
I
work.
was not in the fire. I was not in the big. I was in the soft stillness. That was literally the point of that story.
Taylor, you're not supposed to know all those things.
I know everything because I'm God's gift to earth.
In this moment?
Yep. Come back to me in 10 seconds when I say we're over 3 as good Catholics, because that's ridiculous. Why would I understand like personal mortification? That's what like Lent is all about, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Let's give up something, like you can give up Sonic or deciding to go to Sonic after getting coffee or these sorts of things. You can give something up and that's fine.
Sure.
Putting a stone in your mouth is just dumb.
Also, I would find a way to talk around it. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like when I was going through this
really
with the high school kids, I was like, and I want to ask you, how did you picture the stone in his mouth?
On the side.
That's what everybody else did.
Why? What did you picture?
He said he couldn't talk.
So
like,
biting
it's like a rock sitting on top of his tongue that makes his tongue not be able to move.
Sounds like a Stanley Kubrick kind of thing.
Don't know who that is. Moving on. Okay. Number 4. One of the brethren questioned Abbot Isidore, the elder of Seat, saying, "Why is it that the demons are so grievously afraid of you?" The elder replied, "From the moment I became a monk, I have striven to prevent anger rising to my lips." Now, this is one that I can agree with.
Not being angry?
Sure. And I mean, like, we could argue about...
I'm not an angry person.
I am. We can argue about righteous anger, but, like, I understand that, like, my non-righteous anger, which is most of it, is a thing that I should keep to myself and just let the anger fester and burn away my soul instead of letting it come out and hurt other people.
How well do you do with that?
I'm getting better at repressing my anger, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you're all built up inside.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to explode on someone at any moment, but...
And that hasn't happened to me?
No, I mean, I got kicked out of a basketball game a few months ago.
Really?
You don't listen to the show. It's one of the biggest things that happened on the show.
I knew that story. Oh, my gosh.
You're ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Okay, so I can agree with that one.
Okay.
So now I am 25% a good Catholic.
Okay, well, no, I agree with that one. I don't have an anger issue.
Okay, good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All the other deadly sins,
That's
but whatever. Okay,
very true. Very true.
But between the two of us, we have all 7. There's a bug in here that you're pointing at because
that's a B.
It doesn't matter. Okay,
I think it's a B. Go ahead. We're gonna die.
We're not
from our anger.
Abbot Anastasius had a book written on very fine. You're not listening.
I heard. Had a book written.
Had a book written on very fine parchment. This is way too long. I'm not reading this one.
It is super long.
It's very long.
No, it's ridiculous. Can you just kind of sum it up?
No. Abbot Macarius said,
okay,
if wishing to correct another, you are moved to anger, you gratify your own passion. Do not lose yourself in order to save another.
Okay, that is you. You correct me constantly, and you're always angry at me.
Well, you shouldn't be wrong so often.
You actually think I'm wrong?
Yes, like we're trying to record radio and you're yelling at a bug that's not going to hurt you, and then you're not talking to your microphone.
I am talking to my microphone.
Like,
you told me
want
to.
Coffee? Never mind. Let's go to Sonic.
Okay. I love that you're so perfect.
I am perfect. More people should recognize this.
That's why I should be your favorite. I recognize your perfection.
You know what's funny is
what? You do correct a lot.
You told me that like people are mad at me for being mean to you.
Yes, let's discuss this on the show.
So
you've been nicer to me today.
No, I haven't.
I feel like you have.
I can hear the bug.
I can hear it too. Like, where did it come from? There's a bee all of a sudden.
Well, when a bug and a bug really love each other. Is that how bugs? I don't know.
I don't know how it works. It really is a bee. And it came out of nowhere.
It's not a bee.
It is a bee.
Okay. So, yeah, what do people not understand about me? Like, I make fun of the people that I like.
I know.
And other people, like, how often are you offended by the things that I say to you?
Sometimes, yes.
What percentage?
You want me to percentage it?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. 60.
No way.
I might.
There's no way.
I might.
If you didn't like 60% of the things that I say, that doesn't have to do with anything. If you didn't like 60% of the things that I said to you, we wouldn't be friends.
Well, that's not true. I can take a lot. I had 3 brothers. I've told you, you're the little brother I never asked for. You just kind of...
And that's nice?
Fit right in. No, I don't
There's
know.
no way that you don't
I have
like
no idea.
60%
I don't.
of the things I like.
Listen, I'm not good at math. I literally have no idea.
People if there was 10% of what I said,
You know
that
what? Let's
didn't like-
poll your listeners that listen and say, A, do you think Taylor's nice to Olivia? Which I think you've been very nice this show. And B, if you don't, what percentage does he mean?
I called you the wrong name.
And not on purpose. That's okay. She's the pretty one, so I'll take that one. You can call me Allison anytime. I'm not offended. I almost said Sean. He's not on the show.
He's dead. He's dead to all of us.
All right. So what did you learn about that last one?
Nothing. I learned
that you're not a desert father. Neither one of us are going to be desert fathers. It's not happening. So what are we doing about Lent?
I haven't decided. Do you have any idea what you're doing for Lent?
Have you heard of Exodus 90?
Olivia, we can't talk about it.
So I guess that's a yes.
Like you're bringing up all the things that have been the primary things of this show, and you how do you not know this about me? This is ridiculous.
I love
You talk about me being nice to you.
What?
How do you not know the things that
matter to
that
you?
might be the most popular segment I've ever done.
I knew that.
What is wrong with you?
I'm a really good actress.
I don't think
No, I'm
you
not.
are.
I am. I'm not doing Exodus 90. Obviously, I'm not a boy. Okay, can I tell you something? I really like the whole adding things thing, but I have to say a friend in the past told me to give up ice. That was a really good one for Lent because it's a luxury enough.
Apparently, it's all you care about. You're like, do you want iced coffee or do you want ice from Sonic?
This is what I'm saying.
Ah!
That would make a difference.
I'm so
because
done with
you
this
know
show.
what?
We're-
Because I'm sweating to death in this closet. So what are you planning on doing? I want to do something that I have to actually stretch for. Like it is so annoying.
All I'm gonna do for Lent is invite you back next month, and that'll be enough penance? For me. Just to sit
I'm gonna
in a
make you
room
hug
with
me,
for a month.
Taylor.
I'm gonna make you hug me right now.
You're
Because I'm
so
super
sweaty. It's
I'm
so
super
bad.
sweaty.
I feel like we're like. I mean, I feel like we're like it's like a hurricane happened and we're sitting outside and we're waiting for the electricity to come back on.
Well, hurricanes to you are a light wind. We went through that. That's a show you remember because you were on it.
We almost died in a tornado and I almost just died from a bee. So,
How do you know nothing about me? Like
I
you
know,
interviewed me
Taylor,
today.
I'm kidding. He feels so hurt and I think it's adorable. I want to hear what you're going to do for Lent. I really do. I want to hear someone who's not a desert father, who's an extrovert. What are you planning on doing?
I haven't thought about Lent at all. We're done with the show. I'm done with you. Get out of my house. I'm done with this.
I love you,
I'll
Taylor.
be back next week. See ya! It's so hot.
Oh my God, it's so hot. I do know your Exodus 90 was your biggest show, you idiot. I love that you think I'm a complete moron. Oh my God.
I think you're a moron. I just think you don't care.
I do care. That's why I say the things I say. Really, though, where did that bee come from? Do you have like a bee hole?
Yeah, I have a bee hole.
I wish I would have said that.
We're still recording. Say
No! Don't.
Quit being such a bee hole.
Oh my God, we couldn't even think at the end. We've been through a lot together. Tornadoes. Heat's the worst.
Oh, say, can you see?
Look at how much you're not sharing.
By the dawn's early light.
You're the guy in Titanic that would not let the women off.
What so proudly we hailed.
You would save yourself.
At the twilight's last gleaming.
I'm gonna eat my ice.
And the rockets red glare.
Oh my God. Your parents should have to come in here every day.
My parents?
I mean your Lent. Your Lent should be this room.
Get out of here.
This should be your Lent.